3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome, Lockdown Defenders. This is Coach Mike, and today we are breaking down Finals champion Gary Payton II and how this undrafted rookie, G League standout, and Finals Lockdown Defender has become one of my favorites in the NBA right now.
Oh man, what a defensive play. Tremendous defense. Wow.
This breakdown is going to be jam-packed, so let's get started like most lockdown breakdowns on the ball. You can see how incredible GP2's sliding mechanics are just in this play, jumping, getting out of position, and then going right into a one-touch slide. But when it comes to on-ball footwork, Gary Payton II loves the crossover step. And you can see why. It allows him in one motion to cover large amounts of space while staying in legal guarding position with his shoulders and his hips square to the offensive player. And he's not alone. This is a common footwork pattern by great defenders, including Marcus Smart and even Michael Jordan. But what's exciting about GP2 is a topic we haven't covered that much on this channel, and that's how to stay in proper position when defending against fakes and attacks. And so watch here as he takes this attack with his back foot, and he doesn't drop his hips like a drop step. Instead, he pops back with the other foot as well, staying square and toes aligned. As the play continues, he starts to sit on the offensive player's left shoulder, but you can see his footwork continuing to try and take the fakes with his back foot and stay square to the offensive player. Pair these with the immense activity in his hands on the ball, and you have a great on-ball defender. But one thing he does better than anyone else is this technique right here, and I'm calling it the recovery steal. And so whenever GP2 feels like he's recovered to even with you, he's going to go for that reach across steal. And it's paired usually with a large lunge step in front of the offensive player. This lunge step will give him the angle and leverage he needs to reach across into that dribbling pocket. Now user beware, because some of these look so clean, but at other times and at slightly different angles, the same steal can look like a foul for a ref as they see that reach across and perhaps body contact, so choose your moments wisely. But perhaps the most exciting thing about this technique is you don't have to be in perfect position to do it. You can have a poor angle off the driving line and still get this steal successfully, turning the worst case blow-by into the best case steal. But that's not the only recovery technique GP2 has in his arsenal. He can also execute a chase down block technique. This is a technique we've broken down extensively on this channel, so we won't spend much time going in depth here, but again, the same techniques apply. He's jumping with his inside hand to the opponent's outside shoulder, getting to that release point for that layup. If you want a more in-depth breakdown of this technique, you can check out our full breakdown of the chase down block in the link at the top of this video right now. But we have more Gary Payton II to get to, and that's his incredible footwork when he closes out, going from off ball to on ball. And instead of chopping his feet, he'll go from a sprint right into a 1-2 stride stop. And although some coaches might be skeptical, we would never ask our offensive players to chop their feet before going right into a pull-up or a stride stop finish at the rim. So why do we have to ask our defenders? You can see Gary Payton does a great job of going from a sprint right onto guarding ball with this technique. And many great players use this technique because of the urgency they have to close that space and go right into guarding the ball. That 1-2 step also gives you momentum into your first lateral slide or whether you're elevating to contest. A full cut-up of this technique can be found on my Twitter page, where I release concepts like this almost every day, including this last one, which is the goalkeeper technique. This is used when rotating in help and when you have two players on the weak side. And you can see he's almost in a goalkeeper in soccer positioning, with his 2 cones being the goalpost. This position gives him the ability to watch and anticipate the eyes of the offensive player, and also the lateral quickness to get to these steals, with the full use of his wingspan. GP2 constantly challenges some of the myths and norms about defense, and for that reason he's caught my eye and is certainly a lockdown defender to not only watch but learn from. This month we also released our lockdown blog, and that link you can find on my Twitter page. As always, I'm Coach Mike with Lockdown Defense. Keep up the hard work.